There are only hours left to fill out the 2020 census. We will have all the details later tonight on CTV News.
Good evening, I'm Patricia Vallone with a CTV News update. Authorities are investigating the death of a man that occurred while he was in custody of Hyattsville police. It happened yesterday afternoon around 3:30. Police were called to the 4900 block of Rhode Island Avenue for a stolen bicycle report. Police located the suspect less than 1 mile away and gave chase on foot after he jumped off the bike. Investigators say the 29-year-old suspect fell 3 times before being taken into custody. Police called medics to the scene after suspecting drug intoxication. The man became unresponsive but was revived before he was taken to a hospital where he later died. Prince George's police are heading the investigation. The clock is ticking to fill out the 2020 census. Keisha Butts is at the Office of Community Relations with details about the new deadline.
That's right. You have only hours left to fill out the 2020 census. Officially, you have until 6 a.m. tomorrow morning to fill out the tenure count online. And today is the last day. Census takers will be going door to door to help residents fill out the survey. With us now to explain the importance of the census is Delegate Derek Davis, who is also the Deputy Director of the Office of Community Relations. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me.
Talk to me about why it is so important for residents to fill out the census.
The census, it occurs once every 10 years. It guides our planning, our economic development. It accounts for our services such as hospital services, health care, you name it. Last time we lost, I think it was estimated at $363 million, just Prince George's County.
And like you said, the census is used for hospitals, for schools. Can you just go into a little bit more detail about that?
The population determines where the resources goes, and Prince George's County, for any number of reasons, we've always been undercounted. We lose $18,250 per person that's undercounted, and that has an impact. When we're talking about overcrowded schools, well, that's part of the reason. We're not getting the resources that we're supposed to get to have the number of schools or to have the resources to build the number of schools that we're supposed to have. We hear about we need, a better healthcare system. We need improved roads. We need better planning. All of that requires money, and this is money that we're due from the federal government.
Again, today is the last day. Census takers will be going door to door to help residents fill out the census. Tomorrow at 6 a.m. is officially the last day for residents to fill out the census online. For more information, visit 2020census.gov. Keisha Butts, CTV News.
One of the areas that has a history of census undercounts is Council District 2 in Prince George's County. The region, which encompasses Langley Park, Chilham, Adelphi, and Hyattsville, has a large minority and immigrant population. It's also been one of the hardest hit during the pandemic. Councilmember Denny Taveras says it's now or never to fill out the 2020 census.
We lost $363 million at the last 2010 census. Everybody's complaining about Kerwin. Everybody's complaining about the casino money. Everybody's complaining about P3 and whether we're constructing schools or not. This is where it matters. This is where the money comes from. If you don't fill out your census, none of this is getting done. So this is where it matters. So when you're complaining and you haven't filled out your census, you're the only person to blame for us not being able to get the things we need to get. So please fill out your census. It's just 10 short minutes to get it done, and get it done because we need to make sure that everybody in Prince George's County gets counted. So let's get it done and let's close that gap so that we can make sure that we end this census as strong as possible in this county and across the state, and sending a good, strong message across the state that we all matter.
Tavares says each person tallied accounts for about $18,000 annually in assistance for the region for the next 10 years. County Executive Angela Alsobrooks is weighing in on the coronavirus outbreak at the Largo branch of the MVA, where an employee died after contracting COVID-19. Alsobrooks says the facility should close for now until employees and customers can feel safe going into the building. 59-year-old jury Eric Cork died last Friday of the coronavirus. 4 of his co-workers at that state-run facility have contracted the disease. CTV spoke with people outside of the building yesterday who had not heard about the outbreak. An MVA spokesperson says the Largo facility has been cleaned and disinfected. Customers and staff are required to wear face coverings and undergo a temperature scan before entering the building. The Prince George's public school system says more than 100 of its employees have tested positive for COVID-19 since March. Officials say no students were impacted because schools were in lockdown. Employees who did work in the facilities were notified and contact tracing was initiated. Officials say they are working on developing a dashboard website to track all cases, closures, and cleanings for the public. The State Health Department reports 630 new COVID-19 cases today. The agency also reports 6 deaths statewide. The number of fatalities is nearly 3,900. Montgomery and Prince George's lead the state in COVID fatalities with 820 and 817 respectively. The confirmation of Amy Coney Barrett to the Supreme Court is moving quickly. Yesterday was the final day of questioning of the nominee. The Senate Judiciary Committee has scheduled a vote for next Thursday at 1 in the afternoon. Republicans say they have the votes to approve Barrett's nomination out of the Judiciary Committee and onto the Senate floor. She's expected to be confirmed and be seated in time to hear a case in November on the Affordable Care Act. Well, today marks the last day of Hispanic Heritage Month. Between September 15th and October 15th, we've brought you a series of vignettes about notable people of Latin descent. This week, we honor one of the most famous Latinas of all, Celia Cruz. She was born Ursula Hilaria Celia Caridad Cruz Alfonso, but most people know the famous Cuban singer as simply Celia Cruz. Born in Havana in 1925, Cruz reigned for decades as the queen of salsa, electrifying audiences with her wide-ranging soulful vocals and her rhythms. Cruz grew up in the poor Havana neighborhood of Santos Suarez, but that's also where she was influenced by Cuba's diverse musical climate. In the 1940s, she won a singing contest, which propelled her music career. She first gained recognition in the 1950s as a singer with the Orchestra Sonora Matancera, touring with the band throughout Central and North America. When Fidel Castro came to power, she relocated to the U.S. and became a citizen in 1961. Cruz joined the Tito Puente Orchestra in the mid-1960s and eventually recorded 23 gold records with Puente, the Fania All-Stars, and others. The Queen of Salsa enthralled audiences with her flamboyant hair and attire, performing live and recording albums throughout the 70s and 80s. She made more than 75 records and won several Grammys and Latin Grammys. Cruz also acted in several movies, earned a star on Hollywood's Walk of Fame, and was awarded the American National Medal of the Arts. In 2015, a drama series inspired by the singer's life debuted on Telemundo. Cruz is remembered as one of the 20th century's most beloved Latin musicians. Maryland leaders are responding well to COVID-19 and racial justice issues, but they're lacking in other important areas, so says the Maryland League of Conservation Voters. The group has given them failing grades on climate and transportation issues. The League's 2020 environmental scorecard gives lawmakers passing grades on agriculture and water issues. However, the League says that they took no action on transit and climate, which are crucial to the long-term health of low-income communities. In 2021, the League says Maryland must work aggressively to reduce greenhouse gas emissions and increase transit funding. Police investigate a fatal shooting in Capitol Heights. Officers were called to the 4700 block of Rollingdale Way about 8:30 last night. When police arrived, they found a man inside a home suffering from gunshot wounds. He was pronounced dead on the scene. Detectives do not believe this was a random act. Anyone with information is asked to contact police. Prince George's police arrest a man for his alleged involvement in a fatal shooting in New Carrollton. The suspect has been identified as 22-year-old Dami Carroll. Officers were called to the 5400 block of 85th Avenue last Wednesday. That's where they found Talante Brown with fatal gunshot wounds. The second man was found shot, but is expected to be okay. Investigators say Carroll shot both men during an argument. He's charged with first-degree murder and first-degree attempted murder. Additional support is on the way to the county's youngest learners while they're at home learning virtually. The Prince George's school system launches a new tutoring initiative called PGCTV Reads. The goal is to strengthen student literacy skills through Book Nook, an online comprehensive reading program. Through various partnerships, the district will connect about 4,000 students from kindergarten through second grade to adult volunteers and tutors. They'll spend 1 to 2 hours each week reading to children. Grab your science kits, goggles, and little ones. Parks and Recreation is hosting a STEAM festival. It will take place October 31st from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. The organization has hosted the festival almost every year since 2016, but due to the pandemic, it will be held virtually this year. There will be plenty of science activities for your kids to enjoy, including an introduction to improv, geometry and sports, and a robotics hand presentation.
Science, technology, engineering, arts, math is all around us, and it's important to get to that younger audience and let them know about the importance and how integrated it is in our everyday life so that they can make better choices, sustainable choices for a better future. And so it goes beyond just everyday choices to career opportunities and lifelong goals.
To register, you can visit pgparks.com. And let's get a quick check on our 3-day weather forecast. Tonight, expect showers throughout the evening with lows around 53 degrees. Friday, the rain continues. Daytime temps will reach a high near 59 and a low around 41. Saturday and Sunday, it'll be cool and sunny with highs in the low 60s and lows in the 40s. And now for your community calendar. Calling all spoken word artists, community advocates for family and youth will be hosting a virtual domestic violence poetry slam. It's free to hear some creative poetry with a purpose. Just log in with family and friends Friday, October 16th from 6 until 7:30 p.m. The event is open for all ages and will showcase talent from across the country. For more information, go to Eventbrite and search for Cafe-Slam. And that wraps up our newscast for this evening. Join us again tomorrow. Have a great night.
For the latest information on COVID-19 in Maryland, visit the State Health Department website. That's health.maryland.gov. Again, health.maryland.gov. Click the link to the COVID-19 information portal. There you'll find all the latest information about coronavirus. You'll find daily updates on cases and fatalities. Answers to questions about testing and the governor's stay-at-home order are available as well. For specific information about Prince George's, visit princegeorgescountymd.gov. That's princegeorgescountymd.gov. The site offers information about local services for residents and businesses. There's a link for COVID-19 relief donations. Also, food pantry locations are listed. And if you have any questions, call the county COVID-19 hotline at 301-883-6627. That's 301-883-6627.
Hey world, I have a quick message. It's about safe driving. All right, let's go. Anytime you're driving, have the seatbelt buckled tight. Both hands on the wheel and your phone out of sight. When not in your hand trying to text somebody back. Because if you do, your car might get smacked. The moral of the story, just put your phone down. The people on the road will stay safe and sound. Put your phone down, put your phone down. People on the road will stay safe and sound. Yeah.
It's so sad. It's not.